Hi superheroes, Emily here. We are on episode 26 of Ask M. I have an awesome guest speaker today. This is Dr. Missy. We're going to be talking about hip stability and the pelvis and pelvic positioning and all these really fun nerdy things. I'm really excited about it. We have a giveaway as well, so please stay tuned. We're going to do a giveaway with, you guys might have seen me post recently about these awesome mushrooms and all the things mushrooms can do for you, and she's trying them. Aren't they so
They're
good?
Delicious.
So good. So kind of tying that into what we're talking about and why it's important to all of this. And one of you will be getting some of those 4 Sigmatic mushroom packets to your own house so you can try them yourself. So stay tuned. I hope you guys love the episode. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, please share, and of course, just keep asking questions. So using the hashtag AskM, you can ask any question you want about supplements, about food, about fitness, even questions for Dr. Missy. We will make sure that they get answered. We are glad you're with us. Okay, Dr. Missy, tell me who you are and what you do.
So I am a doctor of physical therapy, and I work out here in Denver at different fitness facilities like this one, Denver Sports Recovery.
Perfect.
And I just really strive to educate people on self-care and how to move properly so that they can kind of take care of themselves for years on end.
Yeah, and I love Dr. Missy, the way she thinks about nutrition. It's not just about what goes into our mouth and that's it. It's really about how it affects our organs, how it affects our body. I just think it's so fun to find people that believe in what you guys have been hearing me talk about. And she's going to be a guest speaker in the new Superhero Challenge that's launching in August. So we're going to have a lot of time with Dr. Missy. So what are we going to talk about today?
So today we're going to talk about pelvic position. So a lot of, it's crazy, so I've been practicing for 5 years, and one of the biggest things that I really see with all of my patients across the board, whether they have headaches, shoulder issues, ankle, is if I seem to target the pelvic position, everything kind of settles down.
That's awesome. So it's all like our world is kind of connecting into our hips.
Yep.
Very cool. What are some issues that you're seeing, problems that you're seeing with your clients?
Okay. So most of the time they present with a normal kind of typical orthopedic issue, shoulder pain, lower back pain. But as I evaluate them, they're a little bit more, you can just see the way that they're standing, the way that they're sitting, everything is, gotcha.
Dang it.
I lectured her about her posture.
So you guys know if you've seen any of my videos or pictures, I do this like hip swag, and I'm
it's cute.
trying
a little
so
personality.
bad. It's so bad. And I've done this since I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's all in all my pictures. So my goal is to stop doing that. I'm trying to get this neutral foot position.
Hard. Yeah.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. But
Yeah.
now it's becoming a little more like I'm catching myself sooner, which is good.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, continue.
Good. No. So the cool thing about the pelvic position, I can kind of give you an idea of all the things that it affects, but the biggest thing and why we kind of connected is that it really affects the way that you digest and eliminate your food.
Yeah.
So if your pelvis is in the incorrect position, all that healthy food that you're eating may not be benefiting you as much as it should be.
I think it's so, I love that you said that, because you could eat the best meal, right? You could have a grass-fed steak, and you could have greens, and you could have coconut oil, but unless you're properly digesting that food after it's in your mouth, there's really no point. And so dialing in what proper digestion is, which I've talked about a lot in these videos and in my challenge, and then just, that's fascinating. So how could your hips affect digestion? Is it because your intestines are being compromised in some way?
A lot of it's being compressed. So most of us, there's 3 positions that we stand in. We're either really kind of overextended this way, really tucked here, or the way that we corrected you, kind of slanted this way.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're just changing the space that the organs are housed in their home, and they need to be able to move to be able to function properly.
Yeah.
So when you kind of alter that position, you change the efficiency of muscles, how long the tissues can actually last, and how those organs can function.
Totally, because you got to think like tissues on a cellular level, they are just need water, they need movement, they
Yeah.
need hydration,
Yep.
and that's how we shuttle nutrients through our whole body. It's not just eating and then that's it.
Yep.
It really is how efficient can these cells be at getting this vitamin or mineral or whatever it is from point A to point B.
Yep.
I love that.
Definitely.
Okay, so how would I know if I have some issues with my pelvis? What are some symptoms?
So any type of pain in your body, we're supposed to be pain-free, relatively pain-free most of our life. So any type of pain, and because the pelvis is kind of your connection to your upper body and lower body, it just, again, kind of presents everywhere.
Totally.
So I like to tell people the first way that you know that your pelvis is in a bad position is pay attention to your sitting and your standing. You fixed it again. That's honestly,
I fixed it.
So that's the first step when you guys are paying attention to your posture. Awareness, it could take you a year.
Yeah.
And I still catch myself kind of leaning, but just being aware of it is going to
Totally.
be, yeah.
And Missy's actually working with me on Elevated Wellness, which is my corporate wellness initiative, and that's like going to be huge for people. If you stand all day at work,
Yeah.
even though it's great that we're not sitting, and we've talked about sitting too much and the problems with that, but now like, okay, we're standing now, but we're doing this all the time. So catching yourself and getting into that position.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
what are some ways to like make sure the pelvis is doing what it needs to do in order to help, outside of seeing a practitioner or seeing of course that always is awesome if you have an ability to go to somebody and really see what's going on. But what are some common themes? Someone's coming to you with pain, they have hip issues. What's your next step?
Breathing issues is another thing. So a lot of people who are really high stress because of where your diaphragm is located, if you're compressed or overextended, it doesn't descend the way that it should.
Okay,
So
that's
you don't
cool.
get that parasympathetic rest and relaxation response.
When you're breathing, when you're
Yep.
inhaling and exhaling.
Yep.
So maybe some breathing exercises.
Breathing exercises would be really good. You guys can just practice while you're sitting or laying down on your back with your hand on your belly. Maybe one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, so you can feel which hand is moving more.
Okay.
And if most people breathe kind of up
In the
in
chest,
here,
yeah.
So if you can get a little bit more in your belly, that's actually we're not meant to have a ton of corrective exercises. We're meant to work properly. That's the way our bodies were built.
For
So
sure.
some of that breathing will naturally get your pelvis into a better position.
I love that. That's really smart. And then one thing that both of us are really into is connecting this with the organs, right? And so one thing that I really love talking to her about and just wanted to show you guys is how pelvic position and pelvic floor, one thing that really drives me crazy is when I go to a CrossFit gym or even myself when I'm really stressed out. This kind of sounds crazy, but people, especially women, they pee. So they're jump roping and they pee, or they do a front squat and they pee, and it's become this like kind of normal thing in CrossFit. And what I have found, especially after finishing NTA and realizing your adrenals, when they are stressed, you start to lose your pelvic floor and you start to lose this pelvic stability. So you're more likely to start kind of compensating on one side. You're shifting a little bit more, hip pain. One of the biggest things for when I ask clients, kind of signs and symptoms for adrenal health is, do they have lower back pain? And is your pelvis pulling on your lower back, just like you said? And so I just think it's so cool to tie in, like, it might not just be the way you stand and the way you breathe, but it could be the stress in your life and the way your adrenals are coping with all the stress in your life. So I'm going to use Missy as an example to show you one of the muscle tests. You guys can try this at home. Just be careful. I don't know how it's going to work, but use your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, and try to see if this is something that can work for you. So I want to show you guys this. Okay, so this is one of the tests that we do. It's an applied kinesiology point, and so your adrenals, when you look at when I'm palpating my client and trying to see where our adrenals are, there's actually a reflex where you can see on a pain level on a scale from 1 to 10 how intense that issue is, and you guys can find it. So you point to your belly button, and then you take your thumb, so your anatomical inch is from your thumb to your knuckle, and you go 1 inch out from your belly button on both sides, and then the same inch but 2 times up. So 1 inch out, 2 inches up, and that is where our Chapman reflexes are for our adrenals. And so one thing you can do, and I don't suggest this, is I sometimes just palpate and have her flex your abs a little bit and try to see if there's any sensation that's kind of piercing and painful. But what you can also do is use this as a way to, if you do have hip issues or shifting before you work out, if you know you're going to work out, then you rub those points with some oil. So some peppermint oil is really good. What other oils do you like for adrenals?
Digestion.
Nutmeg is really good.
Nutmeg is really good. There's I think lemon is actually a really good one too.
Cool. So those are all easy and accessible. So then this is the test that I do. So keep that in mind. One leg is going to be straight, straight out, and then I'm going to have her pull this up to 90 degrees, and then she's going to turn her foot in. So we're at this internal rotation, trying to have her basically think about keeping her foot here while I pull it away. So what she's doing is trying to activate her glutes, activate her piriformis, so I can't move her leg. So I'm going to show you an example. I'm just going to use this hand for support in case you're trying this at home. Be nice to whoever you're doing this on, and then be gentle with the ankle. And I'm going to go ahead and pull. So you're going to stay here, and I'm going to pull this way. Okay, go ahead and pull. So I'm just getting a feel for where her strength is and how it feels. And that wasn't terrible, but I want to compare to see if it's a muscle thing or is it an adrenal thing. So now what she's going to do is find those 2 points and take your 2 fingers and dig in a little bit. And then let's retest. Ready? And hold. Do you feel how much stronger that is? Isn't that crazy? So if that is a difference of strength, that's just saying that our adrenals, we're probably going through stuff, we're stressed maybe a little bit. You can, one, just rub those points, just like I said, or what you can do is try to figure out where are my adrenals at. So you can sit up. You know, am I drinking too much caffeine? What other things do you see with your clients? Too much caffeine,
Not
maybe
getting that recovery.
No, not enough recovery. I mean, just a protein shake isn't going to cut it sometimes. You know, really listening to your body. Enough sleep.
Sleep.
Timing of your meals. If you wait too long before breakfast, that can cause a lot of stress for some people.
And then not stressing about having stress.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing.
That's so big. Yeah.
So it's okay to have stress. We're going to have stress in our life. So just finding what you need to deal with that. So
absolutely. Being okay with being stressed out.
Yep.
I think that's a good one. So for a giveaway, what we're going to do is I just want you guys to comment and share the video, and I'm going to pick one of you guys. Whoever comments and shares, I'll just pick at random because I'm going to love all of your comments. But the Four Sigmatic has done an amazing job at making mushrooms very available for everybody in everyday use. And so one thing I think that's huge is cutting caffeine. And so when you cut caffeine, that's going to be really helpful for the adrenals, but it's really hard. So I love their mushroom coffee. It's a good first step into cutting caffeine if that's where you want to go, if you know you have some adrenal stress or hip issues. I also love the fact that they use cordyceps in their mushrooms, which are kind of like an adaptogenic herb.
Yep.
Your body needs ways to adapt to stress, just like she said. We're going to be stressed, so let's make our body have all the tools it needs to be able to deal with that stress. And so herbs like rhodiola, maca root, cordyceps mushrooms, these are all fantastic. So one of you guys will be getting a nice little goodie package from Four Sigmatic. I'm obsessed with these.
They're so delicious.
They're so good.
Really good.
I do them in smoothies. I put them in my decaf coffee. I do them bedtime. Seriously, so much you can do. So I'm excited to give you guys one of these. Just comment, share the video, and let me know what you think. We love talking about this stuff, so please ask questions to either Dr. Missy and I. We're quite nerds at heart.
We could geek out for hours.
Yes, we could. This is my new geek best friend.
Yes, I like that.
Thank you guys for visiting. Ask them, and please let me know if you have questions. Do you have anything else? Any other takeaways?
Just be aware of that pelvic position.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Neutral stance.
Robot.
All right, cool. I'll see you guys next week.
See ya.